Hello, class. This is Mr. Ringer. Today's lessons will be on soil and land on Earth. Today's objective is upon completion of Mr. Ringer's lesson on soil and land on Earth, students will be able to explain what happens from pollution to land, while also explaining the effects the weather has on the land. They'll demonstrate their knowledge by getting 80% or higher on their exit ticket. An exit ticket today will involve vocabulary from this lesson and different questions. All information you should be able to find in your guided notes that you'll fill out as we go along. The quote of the day is by former President Donald J. Trump. No dream is too big, no challenge is too great. Nothing we want for our future is beyond our reach. I find this to be a very powerful quote because it's saying that we can overcome anything in the right way. And as long as we put our mind to it, we will be successful and we will accomplish that dream. The vocabulary for this section, there's 5 of them, yes. First one is sediment, which is matter that settles to the bottom of a liquid. Next one is land management, which is the process of managing the use and development of land and its resources. Next one is mass movement, solid rock or debris being moved down slopes by gravity, rapid rain, or sinking of Earth's ground surfaces. Next one is erosion, the process of eroding or being eroded by wind, rain, or other natural agents. The next one is desertification, which is the process by which fertile land becomes a desert due to a drought, deforestation, or wrongfully used by agriculture. Okay, we're going to start off this lesson by talking about sediment contamination, which is the biggest causes of pollution of U.S. waters. 30% is caused by natural erosion, and 70% is caused by humans, which the biggest cause is construction and the plastics that we use that a lot of people litter along the side of the roads or just dump in the ocean. You can see here in the graph, it's talking about incidental sediment ingestion, such as plastics or other things that are harmful to the wildlife and their ecosystems, and how it comes in vegetation, other organisms, and eventually can end up in fish because it can be an algae in the water. Then as people eat fish or whatever, gets in the human tract. So sediment contamination is something that's very big because we need to be able to control this so it doesn't hurt us, hurt other wildlife or other animals. The next section is solid and hazardous waste. There's 2 kinds of solid waste. The first one being municipal waste, which is your trash and garbage, stuff that you throw away in a trash can, it'll end up at the landfill. That's municipal waste. Industrial waste is non-hazardous waste from production of goods. So it's like all the extras that are used like during the process of like making a water bottle. Like it'd be like scrap, like metal, different things, or like oils, stuff. That's industrial waste. Now there's 4 types of hazardous waste. First one being ignibility, which is flammable. It's like a waste of oils and used solvents. Next one is corrosivity, which can rust or decompose. Example would be battery acid, stuff that you find in your batteries of your cars and your phones, or like those little AA batteries that you put in your TV remotes. Next one is reactivity explosives, like lithium sulfur batteries. Like was it several years ago, their Samsung phones were blowing up in people's hands while they use lithium sulfur batteries in those. The next one is toxicity, which is poisonous waste such as pesticides and chemicals. Here, like there's not really a proper way to get rid of them unless they put them in storage containers for so many years. Now the next thing is land management. There's 5 main uses of land. First one being recreational, second one transportation, third agricultural, and 4th residential, and 5th one's commercial. All these you have seen on a daily basis. Like recreational example is like your house or a hotel. That is recreational. Transportation, like a train yard where or airports where people fly in and out of. That's where that area of land is taken for a specific use to help people move around the earth or from place to place. Next one is agricultural, which is farmland, stuff that you see when you go out in the countryside, cornfields. Residential is just like your house, and commercial is like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like Walmart, that's considered a commercial building. That is a commercial building because it's using land to sell other products. Next thing is mass movement and erosion, which is caused by causes of mass movement and erosion includes earthquakes, removal of vegetation, and extensive rain. You see this mass movements, including like mudslides and rockfalls, big like in South America because they get so much rainfall at a time. And they don't get like a couple inches here and there like we do here in the U.S. They get tons of rain. And there, it would just wipe out an entire village or take out an entire road where people get hurt and can die from this. So this is something that is very difficult to prevent, but it can be done. Rockfalls is a big thing also. Rockfalls, it's not really as big of a thing in the United States. It's more like over in Asia, I would say, where rockfalls happen because it's more of a mountainous region where people drive along mountains and there's constant weather changing and debris falling. And the last one is desertification, which is caused by loss of bodies of water, loss of vegetation, climate change, and human activities. These things happen a lot. It's usually self-induced by people. Like, example of desertification that's happened in the United States is like out west, like towards Texas and Nevada. There's like some places that cannot be used for farming. The reason being because the water has dried up, like in Death Valley out there in Southern California near Nevada and Arizona. They cannot be farmed because it's lost its water source. So it's became so dry that nothing grows there. There's no vegetation. So it's gone. And you find something else that you find is different places where it's like over drilled, like for oil, for example. Human activities, it changes the earth underneath. Like there might be water aquifers, it might change the way the land lays. So it dries up because when they're drilling for oil, they shove water down and pressurize it to crack the earth's crust so that they can get that oil. Or during that process, they might hit a water vein and it might dry up eventually because it's moved. It moved. The effects of desertification on humans, it's loss of food, loss of land due to deserts expanding. And there's some ways that we can stop desertification. It's through land and water management. Like the Department of Natural Resources really works at this, and so does the Department of Agriculture. They do this by setting regulations that some stuff can't be overused or can't be over-drilled, or certain places can be overpopulated. Even they work with the water sources like the Colorado River, for example. Like they talk about like it drying up eventually one day, and they're trying to figure out ways they can do to stop that or make sure there's constant water flows still. Because if the Colorado River disappears, that's not going to affect one state. It's going to affect multiple states, multiple farms also with that. So we would lose those resources that comes from those farms and put a lot of people out jobs, and we'll lose food. The next thing is protecting vegetation and wildlife. So there are, that's why the Department of Natural Resources steps in, because so stuff's not over hunted, and so animals can stay in the area. So if there's animals in the area, more than likely you're able to use that land, more than likely. But if it's complete desert and there's no wildlife there and there's no vegetation, you really can't do very much with it. Anyways, this is the end of today's lesson. Next, you'll be do a quick discussion, then do your Quizlet game. Then you can do a quick review with your guide notes, and you can take that exit ticket. Have a good rest of your day.